Your neighbor unleashes his Rottweilers to bite your children and then says, let's talk. You think he's going to talk to them until he either unleashes those Rottweilers or locks them up in a kennel or puts them to sleep? We are not going to take it. If they hit us, we will hit them back. We will not dialogue with people who are pointing a gun at our head. Your neighbor unleashes his Rottweilers to bite your children, and in fact to do worse to your children, and then says, let's talk. You think he's going to talk to them until he either unleashes those Rottweilers or locks them up in a kennel or puts them to sleep? It's as simple as that. You're not going to talk to people who are pointing guns at your temples. It's not going to happen.
It's a question that your own party continues to ask back home. Just yesterday, the leader of your party, Rahul Gandhi, said Modi surrendered to President Trump.
Sorry, what was the last one there?
That Modi surrendered to President Trump.
Look, all I can say is that we have enormous respect for the American presidency and the American president. All we can say for ourselves is that we have never particularly wanted to ask anyone to mediate. As I said, we have no real difficulty in speaking the same language as the Pakistanis. As long as they use the language of terrorism, we will use the language of force, and that doesn't require a third party. If, on the other hand, they were to dismantle the infrastructure of terrorism, we can talk to them. If they take serious actions to show that they want to restore normal relationships with us, we can certainly talk to them again without needing an intermediary. So it's not in any way a negative comment about the goodwill of people. During this conflict, as I said, in any case, India didn't need persuading to stop. No one needed to tell us stop because we were telling them. The moment Pakistan stops, we are prepared to stop. So if they in turn then told the Pakistanis, you better stop because the Indians are willing to stop, and that was what they did, then that's a wonderful gesture on their part with vis-a-vis Pakistan, but only Pakistan and they can tell us exactly what happened.
President Trump, even as recent as, I guess, a couple days ago, he keeps saying that he used trade to stop the war.
That's not the impression I have. I can tell you that it was a public record that there were calls coming from various foreign ministers to our foreign minister, to our national security advisor. The US was amongst the most active in this regard, and that Secretary Rubio spoke to his Indian counterpart, Jaishankar. He also, in his second hat of NSA, spoke to his counterpart, Mr. Doval. At one point, Mr. Vance, the Vice President, called our Prime Minister. So there was a lot of calls being made, and that's true also the foreign ministers of the UAE, of Saudi Arabia, France, and so on. Many countries were concerned. My understanding is, and none of these calls was trade ever mentioned, not one. And certainly our information is that from our side, we gave a consistent response throughout, which corresponds to what I've just said to all of you, that we are only taking retribution for a terrorist attack. We are not interested in prolonging this conflict. If Pakistan hits us, we will hit back because we have a right of self-defense. If Pakistan stops, we'll stop.